Hey, English learners! Welcome back to another episode of English Mastery, where we discuss the best ways to elevate your English skills. I'm your host, Teacher Sam. If you're looking to improve your English quickly, you're in the right place. Learning English can be challenging, but what if I told you there are 8 secrets to mastering it faster than you thought possible?
Excellent, Teacher Sam. And the best part? You don't need a classroom. Today, we'll show you how podcast shadowing can skyrocket your English fluency. Shadowing is when you listen to a native speaker and try to repeat what they say, word for word, in real time.
Secret number 1, start with the right podcasts. Not all podcasts are created equal for learning English. You want to find podcasts that are engaging, easy to understand, and relevant to your interests. Think about it. If you're passionate about a topic, you're more likely to stay engaged and motivated to learn. So, whether you're into science, history, true crime, or pop culture, there's a podcast out there for you. Start by browsing through popular podcast apps and look for shows with clear audio quality and hosts who speak at a moderate pace. You can even search for podcasts specifically designed for English learners. Remember, the goal is to find something you enjoy listening to. Don't be afraid to experiment with different genres and formats until you find the perfect fit. Once you've found a few promising podcasts, listen to a few episodes and see how you feel.
Our second secret to mastering English through podcast shadowing is all about consistency. It's not about how much time you spend in one sitting, but how often you do it. Think of it like exercising. A muscle-short regular workouts are more effective than one long session once a month. Even dedicating just 15 to 20 minutes a day to podcast shadowing can make a world of difference in your fluency. The key is to make it a habit. Integrate it into your daily routine. Maybe you listen and shadow during your commute, while you're cooking dinner, or even while you're out for a walk. Don't worry if you miss a day or two, life happens. The important thing is to get back on track as soon as you can. Remember, consistency over perfection is the name of the game. Set yourself a realistic goal, like shadowing for 15 minutes every weekday. The more you practice, the more natural and effortless your English will become.
Now let's move on to secret number 3. Don't be afraid to slow things down at first. When you're first starting out, it's perfectly normal to feel overwhelmed by the speed of native speakers. Remember, you're training your ears and your mouth to process and produce English sounds at a faster pace than you're used to, so give yourself permission to slow down the audio. Most podcast apps have a playback speed setting. Start by listening at 0.8 or 0.75 speed. This will allow you to catch the nuances of each word and phrase without feeling rushed. As you become more comfortable, you can gradually increase the speed until you're shadowing at normal speed. Think of it like climbing a mountain. You wouldn't start at the summit, would you? You start at the base and gradually work your way up. Be patient with yourself and don't be afraid to adjust the speed as needed. Enjoy the process of improving your English skills. Focus on intonation and rhythm.
Our fourth secret to unlocking fluency through podcast shadowing is all about focusing on intonation and rhythm.
English is a very musical language, and its meaning can change dramatically depending on how you say something.
Think about it. The same sentence can be a statement, a question, or even an exclamation, just by changing the intonation.
That's why it's crucial to pay attention to the music of English, not just the words themselves.
When you're shadowing, try to mimic the speaker's intonation as closely as possible.
Notice how their voice rises and falls, where they pause, and how they stress certain words.
Don't worry about understanding every single word at first. Instead, focus on getting a feel for the overall melody of the language.
You can always go back and look up unfamiliar words later.
Remember, fluency is not just about speaking quickly. It's about speaking naturally and expressively.
Mastering the intonation and rhythm of English will enhance your understanding and fluency. Break sentences into chunks. Let's move on to secret number 5. Break sentences into chunks, especially longer ones. One of the biggest challenges of shadowing is keeping up with the speaker, especially when they're speaking quickly or using complex sentence structures. That's where chunking comes in. Chunking is a technique where you break down long sentences into smaller, more manageable units of meaning. This makes it easier for your brain to process the information and for your mouth to repeat it. For example, instead of trying to repeat this entire sentence in one go, the latest research suggests that regular exercise can have a significant impact on both physical and mental health. You could break it down into smaller chunks like this. The latest research suggests pause and repeat, that regular exercise, pause and repeat, can have a significant impact. Pause and repeat, on both physical and mental health. Pause and repeat. Our sixth secret to maximizing your podcast shadowing experience is to always use transcripts when available. Many podcasts provide transcripts of their episodes, which can be incredibly helpful for language learners.
Think of transcripts as your secret weapon. They allow you to see the written words while you listen, which can significantly improve your comprehension, especially when encountering unfamiliar vocabulary or complex sentence structures.
When you have a transcript handy, you can easily pause the audio and take your time to understand any challenging parts. You can look up new words, analyze grammar structures, and even write down notes or questions to revisit later.
Using transcripts also allows you to focus on specific aspects of your pronunciation.
So, before you hit play on your next podcast episode, check if a transcript is available. Now, let's move on to secret number 7, shadow with a purpose. Don't just repeat mindlessly, pay attention to what you're saying. Remember, shadowing is not just about mimicking sounds, it's about internalizing the language. Expert, each time you shadow, choose a specific area to focus on. Maybe you want to work on your pronunciation of a particular sound, like the th sound, or perhaps you want to improve your fluency in using a specific grammar structure, like the present perfect tense. As you shadow, pay close attention to how the speaker uses that sound or grammar structure. Try to imitate their pronunciation and intonation as closely as possible. Expert. This will help you pinpoint your weaknesses and track your progress over time. Set an intention for each shadowing session and make a conscious effort to improve in that area. And finally, our 8th and final secret to unlocking fluency through podcast shadowing is to challenge yourself with varied content. Don't stick to just one type of podcast or one accent. The beauty of podcasting is the sheer variety of content available. There are podcasts on every topic imaginable, from science and history to comedy and true crime. And within each genre, you'll find podcasts hosted by people from all walks of life, each with their own unique accent and speaking style. By exposing yourself to a wide range of accents and speaking styles, you'll train your ears to understand different variations of English. This is especially important if you plan to travel to English-speaking countries or interact with people from different backgrounds. So don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone and explore new genres and formats. The more you diversify your listening, the more well-rounded your English skills will become. So there you have it. These 8 secrets can transform how quickly you learn English, and the best part is you can do it all through podcast shadowing.
Remember, it's not about perfection. It's about progress. Every time you shadow, you're getting one step closer to fluency. Consistency, variety, and paying attention to the details. Those are the keys. If you found these tips helpful, make sure to subscribe, give us a like, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future episodes. And let us know in the comments, what's your favorite podcast to practice shadowing? We'd love to hear your recommendations.